Andrea, you're up.
So about 10 years ago, I was having a great career in New York as an architect designing skyscrapers. And all of that was going pretty well. But there was a problem. Although I loved architecture and I loved design, I was pretty unhappy. And there were two things that were really missing from that beautiful career and life. I had this thing since I was a child that I can talk with computers. My dad taught me how to program when I was very, very young. And I really wanted to do software development, but there was no way I could see that would allow me to combine actual designing buildings with producing software products. And the second problem that I had was that I loved asking what I call fundamental questions. So I did not major in philosophy in college, but I took so many philosophy classes I could have majored 2 times over. And I just loved asking things like, all right, but how do we completely rethink why people have to live in apartments made out of these boxes that are rooms? Why do people have to access these apartments through doors that are arranged in this particular way? And the answer was, of course, because that's how people behave. And then I would go, okay, but who taught people how to behave that way? And this annoyed the hell out of everyone. So with this conundrum, I started to look into what are my options. And I discovered that I have none. There is no career path for me that allows me to still be an architect, still design buildings, do software products and programming, and ask fundamental questions. And when that became crystal clear and very fast, the only possible choice was to just start my own company, which I did. And it's called Numeta. We describe ourselves as a design and interaction studio, which only covers a very small part of what we actually do. And we're based in Germany. And most of the projects that we work on actually allow us to tackle all those 3 things: fundamental questions, architecture, and software development. To give you a bit of an idea about what work we do, we have designed Spectra Cities, which is a virtual tool of parts that allows you to design real cities of up to 1 million people. We worked on that with Ryan Japetsky, who's sitting right there from Spectra Cities. We just released a tool, a virtual reality application that is a combination between what they call a productivity tool that allows you to design architecture in virtual reality and a game. We're having a very hard time talking to people about what this is and finding the right distributor, because people are asking us, okay, is this for our productivity department? And we say yes. And then others are asking us, is this a game? And we say yes. And no one knows what to do with it. Except the users, they're getting a hang of it. And lastly, we are working on a project called The Third Pill. And this is a virtual reality game that where the action, half of the action takes place in complete darkness. So half of the levels you play, you try to find your way out of this simulation labyrinth. And half of the time you're navigating a research facility, because it's a game, without seeing anything. So we're using spatial sound and interaction. You move your head around, and imagine you have like the dolphin sonar attached to your head, and wherever you move, you hear a feedback noise as if you have just touched some object there. And this is how we allow you to navigate these vast grounds and interact with characters without ever showing you anything. And we've run a bunch of tests for this, and the most amazing thing is that our testers have told us that everything that happens in the dark, so all the levels where we're basically forcing their brains to see things with their mind's eye, feel completely real. Whereas whenever we actually show them visuals, it's obvious that it's computer generated.